Hi, everybody. I'm Miss Alexa, and I am one of the Youth Services Librarians at the Algonquin Public Library. I wanted to say hello, and this is our tutorial for the Henna Take and Create program. You all should have gotten in your kit a little booklet that has some history and fun facts, as well as talking pictures of the different designs. And you should have also gotten your practice sheets and a pencil. And along with that, there's the pencil, and you should have gotten a henna cone. And right now I'm going to give you just a little basic intro to the henna, and then I'm going to demonstrate how to put it on correctly. So, pencil's making noise. Sorry about that. Okay, so what is henna? Now you can see I already have a design on the top of my hand, and you will maybe recognize it. It's the same one that there are pictures of in the directions. And I did this, I think on maybe 4 or 5 days ago, and it's still on pretty good. So it's going to last for a couple of weeks. First of all, I'm going to give you a little explanation here. What is henna? Well, this is probably what a lot of you are thinking of. Henna is actually a plant, and it grows in tropical areas, parts of the world like Africa and India, other parts of South Asia, and some parts of Australia. As a plant, it doesn't do a whole lot. You know, it's not super showy, super beautiful. It's a nice looking plant, but when we crush the leaves, dry them and crush them, it breaks down, and there is a pigment in it that this pigment, which is another word for a dye, will actually stain your skin like a rusty red-brown color. The pigments in the plant combine with the proteins in our skin, and then we have like an instant temporary tattoo. It's usually used to decorate hands and feet and other body parts. You know, you could do it on your arms, you could do it on your legs, but traditionally it was always done like on the hands, both tops and bottoms, and on the feet. They also has been used to like dye your nails, turn your nails red, and to turn your hair red. Some of you may have heard of an actress. Her name was Lucille Ball. She was a very famous comedian, and her shows are still on. You could find them on YouTube. You could find them on repeats on some different old-time TV channels. But she had bright red hair, and her hair was actually colored with henna. They call the art of henna on our hands mendi. And this art has been around, the practice of putting mendi on our hands, henna on our bodies. It's been going on for like thousands of years. In ancient Egypt, Cleopatra used henna. And the Egyptians also used to paint the nails of mummies with henna. And in India, sometimes they will decorate the foreheads of cows and horses for protection. And it's in India and a few other places. Wedding henna is very, very traditional, that people will put henna on both the bride and the groom. In your booklet, you're going to have, excuse me, samples of different designs that you could practice to put on your fingers, on the palms of your hands, on your wrists. Okay, I'm going to talk now about the process of how they make henna, and then I'm going to demonstrate putting some on the palm of my hand. So to make the dye, like I said, they take the leaves, they dry them, and they ground them up into a powder. And then the powder is mixed with an oil and sometimes lemon juice, water, or a tea, and it makes a really thick paste. We have it because wonderful modern world that we live in, you can buy the cones, the paste already put together, and it's already even put into the cone. So all we have to do is apply it. I got these off of the internet. You can buy them online. You can also find them like in specialty grocery stores, like Indian and other South Asian grocery stores will often have them. Middle Eastern grocery stores will have them. If you want to buy just one or two, I think you can find them, like I said, online. It's pretty easy, and then it gets shipped right to your house. When we put Mindy on our hands, it usually lasts for 1 to 2 weeks, but exactly how long depends on a lot of different things. One of which is how often we wash our hands, the kind of soap we use, and then whether you have like oily skin or really dry skin, what part of your body you put it on, and some of the different ingredients. Like I said, sometimes like with the type of oil, or if they put in a certain tea or lemon juice, those things can help it stay longer or shorter. Henna does create a permanent stain, but because our skin, because we constantly like shed old skin and new skin grows, and it'll eventually, that's why I said after a couple of weeks, there'll be new layers of skin. One of the things is that like right now, because of COVID-19, we are all taking extra hygiene considerations. So that means we're washing our hands a whole lot. Under normal conditions, we would say once you have the Mindy on the paste, you're going to try and leave it on as long as you can without washing your hands. Well, is that a good idea right now? No. So I would say try to make it last about an hour. If you can't go that long, it's okay. Or you could try putting it like maybe on your foot or on your arm, something that you're not going to be washing constantly. So what I would suggest is that you, if you have to use the restroom, use that first before you start putting the actual henna on your hand, okay? You also should practice drawing. That's why I gave you all the practice worksheets to actually come up with your design, because you want to make sure that you know what you're doing. I tried a couple of different designs that I thought were going to be easy. When I looked at them, I found some pictures. I'm like, oh, I can do this. And then when I tried to draw them, it was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this, especially with the Mindy. And there's enough in your tube that you should be able to even practice it once on paper. With this, I've put a couple of different tattoos on with this one tube, and there's still a whole lot in here. Okay, so once you have practiced and practiced drawing, you washed your hands really good, even put on some hand sanitizer, because hand sanitizer is going to actually take a little bit, another layer of oil off of your hands, and you're going to have a little bit a better chance of it sticking. And then we're ready, okay? And I want you to see, we're not going to cut the tip of the tube off. If you look, there is a straight pin. Can you all see that? It's a straight pin that's been put into the tip of the tube. So it should be ready to apply. Okay? And you could just pull that out. And then you can actually test this on a piece of paper. And there are different ways to hold it. I kind of like holding it like a pencil, and you just kind of squeeze until it comes out. There we go. Can you see a little teeny bit coming out? And practice on the paper, okay? Like I said, you don't necessarily need to practice your whole design, just one or two little lines. And if you feel like the line is too teeny tiny thin, you can get a pair of scissors and cut just a teensy bit off the edge, because once you start making the cone tip bigger and bigger, the line is going to get wider and wider, and we can't go back. You can always take a little bit more off, but you can't add back on. So be very stingy on if you do make the lines bigger, because you won't be able to get the fine detail. Okay. Other trick is to have some paper towels handy, and to also have like some hand sanitizer close by, because if you do make a mistake and you take it off quickly and rub it off with the hand sanitizer, it shouldn't stain your hands, okay? It's longer it stays on, the deeper and darker the design will get. And you can see right now, this is kind of a nice dark rusty color. When you first take off the peel, flake it off, it's going to be like a bright neon orange, and you're going to be like, I don't know if I like this. This doesn't look like it other people's, or it doesn't look like it should in the pictures. It will turn darker overnight. It'll take almost a whole day for it to get as dark as it is. Okay? So that being said, I've practiced my design on paper. I have practiced right here. Oops, there we go. Did I put my pen back in? There we go. All right, and I've practiced making some lines. So now the next step is going to be to actually do the design. So I'm going to be back in just a moment with some hand sanitizer and paper towels, okay? I am back. I have got hand sanitizer. I've got a couple of alcohol wipes, because that's basically what hand sanitizer is rubbing alcohol. So I'm going to wipe off those little spots I just got on my hand. Okay, there we go. All right, now they're off. Okay, so you have figured out your design, and you're going to be ready. Now I'm going to take the tube, and I'm going to start getting a nice little flow. And like I said, I'm doing my palm because I've already done the top of my hand. So I'm going to start by making a little heart right there. And then go that. Okay. So I make kind of a star. Around like that. And you shouldn't be pressing it into your skin. You should be letting it kind of just fall onto your hand, guiding the tip just a teensy bit over the surface of your skin. See, since I practiced drawing this so many times with my pencil, I did it maybe 5 or 6 times, I'm able to make the design pretty quickly. And I drew most of the big lines first, and then I'm going back and filling in all of my little dots. And see, there we go. And what I did was it was a pretty simple design. And using curving lines is a little bit easier, and you start in the center and work your way out. And now I have to wait for this to dry. And eventually it's going to get nice and crumbly. And you could see from the pictures it'll start flaking off in about a half hour. And depending once again where it is on your body, you can let it just slowly crumble off on its own. Or if it starts to bug you like this, I'm supposed to be doing something in a half hour from now. And so I'm hoping it's going to be getting crumbly by then, so then I could start just pulling off the flakes. Like I said, the longer you let it sit, the darker it's going to get. But even as little as a half hour, you'll still get a design, because this was on about a half hour. And you can see it's a nice design. And look how much is still left in this tube. It's still almost completely full. So you're going to have a lot. You can experiment and try it over and over. As long as it's okay with your grown-ups, make sure you know where you're putting it. So like I said, if you want to put it on your arm, if you want to put it on your foot, you can put it different places. So anyway, this is the end. I made a mandala to put on the palm of my hand, and it's going to dry, and I will come back a little bit later and show you what it looks like when it's completely done. Hi guys, I am back, and you're seeing a close-up of my hand. And believe it or not, I only left this henna on for about 5 minutes before I actually took it off. So you see you can get a pretty dark stain even just from a very short period of time. This is going to darken over the next 24 hours, but it's probably going to wash off pretty fast because, of course, we're washing our hands all the time. But yeah, that's a quick little design that I did, and you can see there's a little bit of a smudge there where I creased my hand, I closed my hand. So if you're doing it on the palm of your hands, you want to try and keep your hand open while you're letting it dry. But I don't think it was too bad for just as quickly as I did it there, and then
washing it right off. So anyway, that is the finished product. I told you I'd be back to show you that. Good luck, everybody, and I would love to have you send pictures of your henna designs when you finish them.